Hey, I can't hear you on. Okay.
Hey,
Guess
folks,
this is
anyone there
why
now?
we
Can
didn't
anyone
have
hear
any
me?
tech problems on Sunday.
Okay, hopefully this is now working. So that
That's
entire...
why I was just. Yeah.
so, real quick, Little Dragon, exclamation point Little Dragon, gets a link to their website, pro bonus, 10% off your order. Cardboard Castle Games, our local friends down in Evans, Georgia. Swing by there, let them know that you're a fan of Proficiency Bonus. Save 10% off your order your purchase in store with them. As you heard about last week, there is a new, I guess I'll call it addition, so to speak, for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, called Wild Beyond Witchlight Attractions and Adventures. Our very own Murdoch has a couple of things that that he took care of authoring within there. There is a link going in the chat now, which you can click that. It'll throw it into your DM's Guild shopping cart. It actually gets you a discount. Definitely check it out. It is a limited discount, though, as Ink reminded us last week. So if you're interested in it, definitely pick it up. We spent a lot of time after stream talking about it. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there, especially if you're going to be running this new campaign that's just come out. So check it out. There's also, as Ink mentioned, I want to say it is a full color preview for a bunch of it as well.
Yep, 100% free preview, so you can see everything that you're gonna get in there before you buy it.
So definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. I may or may not have taken some inspiration from my copy of it for things that this group may or may not run into. Just to make inquiry. So with that, we'll jump into last time. Our party has been spending a little bit of time in Baldur's Gate as they prepare for the next leg of their journey, heading a little further south down to Candlekeep. One of the things that the party had heard about was this mysterious ghost ship that it seems people talked about every once in a while, but no one really thought anything of it. The party decided to try to stake it out after hearing about it. Again, Murdoch, it being a local, had heard the same things occasionally, but no one ever paid it any mind. And sure enough, the party did in fact run into a strange, seemingly spectral ship. Lydia recognized the style of vessel from her adoptive home. Upon one of the party members upon a small cat attempting to board the vessel once and getting ejected by a shock of lightning, some other party members attempted to clamber on, and only Lydia was able to actually board the vessel. Seemingly ignored by most of the crew, Lydia made her way through the vessel and eventually found what looked to be very large care packages with healing kits, food, fruits, vegetables. It seemed to be supplies to try to aid a decent number of individuals. She also saw this strange, emaciated, almost skeletal looking individual walk over to one of them, and upon reaching towards it, basically shrinking it down to the size of a small box you could hold in your hands. Lydia proceeded to take it and disembark. As the party had regathered and sort of looked at this small care package, a couple of them noticed a watermelon that looked to be about the size of a pea, as well as some other different supplies, bandages and things, all at the scale looking as if they belonged in a dollhouse. And as they discussed what what Lydia had seen on the boat as they meandered back onto the docks, back towards their respective sleeping arrangements. The majority at the inn, Murdoch back at her office. We pick up the next morning as the party seems to have slept soundly, with only slight memories of the seemingly spectral vessel and the complete stillness and silence that all of you encountered on the docks. And so the story is yours, my friends, as you all begin to awake the next morning. What is everyone's plan?
I would like to go check on Lydia.
Okay, easy enough to do. You know where she's sleeping.
I knock on the door.
One moment. All right. Oh, hi, Granny. How are you
Hello.
doing this morning?
Very well. I was seeing how you're doing after being on the ghost ship.
Really confused still, not gonna lie. Don't know why it was there.
Have you figured out how to make the box bigger again?
I can't, no. Art maybe might be able to, but certainly can't. It comes into my head, that maybe I stole this from the ship and it could have helped a lot of people, perhaps, and I shouldn't have taken it.
Well, you can still help people with it once we figure out how to make it larger, or perhaps you could help some rats in the walls of the inn.
Either way, it will be used.
Well, I'm going down for breakfast if you would
follow.
like to join me.
Of course.
Would you like to join me?
Oh, of course. Sorry.
Okay. I offer my little hand to Lydia.
I'll take it and I'll escort her down the stairs.
Oh, I was escorting you downstairs.
Oh, I will be escorted down the stairs then.
I am the leader.
I always defer to you, Granny. Go forth.
Okay. Let us go. I will go downstairs with Lydia and get some breakfast.
Mhm.
You're muted, DM.
It's going to be one of those nights, it appears. So, as the two of them head down for breakfast, what would the rest of you be doing?
I would probably be already downstairs eating breakfast.
Okay. Murdoch, Rose, Art, anything?
Yeah, I'd just head down for breakfast as well after I wake up.
Okay. Optimus?
I want to check in on Mom, because I didn't talk to her when there was Farticus demon in the room, and kind of just left it at that.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, okay. Ooh. What? 23.
Ooh, very nice. So, as you've been sort of having this over and remembering everything that had happened, the first thing that sort of jumps out at you is it didn't seem like your mother was disturbed by this. You get the impression this is probably not the first time that she's dealt with something, maybe not of this exact nature, but something that's a little outside of the norm.
Well, yeah, being from another plane, I guess. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, well, good, as long as we're on the same page. Cool.
And she'll join you if your Jordan is that she'll join you for breakfast if you'd like her to. If not, she'll hang out. She's spending a lot of time copying over the scrolls that you had purchased for her into her own spellbook, as well as writing down the ones that she had committed to memory. So,
I mean, I'll offer, like, I'll ask, like, if she wants to come downstairs for breakfast, but
yeah, she'll
I'm
join.
not-
She'll come down and. If you're heading down, she's going to come down and spend a little time with you.
Okay.
Okay, so as most of our party has started making their way down or is already downstairs eating, that brings us to Murdoch.
I just get up from my bedroom above the office. Say hi to Mom and Snow Moon. You know. She probably has like a slow start because it's like people kept calling her from her office. You know, so it's like I don't think Farticus has started yet. I'm sure he comes in early, but I'm sure I wake up even earlier. So she just kind of walks around in her empty home. Maybe gets like a little bite of something to eat. It's kind of just a slow morning, and she'll eventually she'll eat first. So if they're eating at the inn, probably after they're finishing up is when she'll come by to check on everybody because she's got to walk a little bit.
Okay. Before we jump back over them, probably about maybe 10, 15 minutes. You've had time. You've had your meal as you're sort of puttering around. About 10, 15 minutes before you go to depart, Farticus does eventually make an appearance. So he seems to be running a little ragged. Hair's a little bit disheveled. But comes in. Oh, good. I caught you. Yeah, so, what you asked me to take care of? Yes, I got everyone out. There was 2 in there that were slightly more serious that we left. Because...
Okay.
But the rest of them we took care of, things for writs, minor disagreements that the Fist got involved with and locked them both up for foolish things.
All right.
So it's good. And he sets down about 15 gold. After everything, that's what's left.
And I gave him like several thousand, right?
Yep.
I think so, yeah. Wow. We got like everyone out that was worthy of it. Awesome.
That's
All right.
253 in total.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And they were all advised it was you and your practice that was footing it, so should they be in need of assistance, they will be looking for your aid.
You, as always, have done wonderfully. I suppose we could use the last bit of funds if we can get some people in the community to spend a couple hours by some of the main gates and see if we can pay forward some of the tolls for people getting in. That could go quite a bit. Or do you think that we should just put it towards buying some writs? It would only be 15.
See, it sort of looks down a little bit. It depends on what you're going with. We can, if there are individuals you know of who need the writs, it would not hurt. Again, it does make traveling between much easier, but as you said, it is a very limited number of people we can help that way.
Best to just pay the tolls then. That will make things go a lot smoother for more people. I would say if we can find someone to, maybe someone at the Basilisk Gate and maybe someone else at the Black Gate, or the Black Dragon Gate rather. You know, make sure if anyone wants to be coming in from Kalimshan or Blackgate that they have an easy way into the city.
Yes, I can go out. I have a few individuals that will do it for a couple of silver.
Wonderful. As always, just if there's any missives for me, let me know. I do have a means of magical communication, so you might be hearing from me more often. I will make a sort of call sign so that you know that it's me, and we will change it on the regular. All right?
You watch as the color fades a little bit from his face. So that was you?
Last night, yes, when I asked how you had fared with your progress and I asked for specifics, it was me, but your answer was wonderful. You kept it just vague enough. I've trained you well. You've learned well.
I was rather scared, but I know you're traveling with some interesting individuals now, so... Wasn't certain. It reminded me of you. It sounded of you, but... As you've always said, one can never be too careful.
Yes, especially with beings that can make themselves look and sound like anyone. It's good to be on your toes. Like I said, we'll come up with a rotating call phrase so that you can be a little bit more assured that it's me. But we just need to find a way to share that without possible interception. As such, until further notice, I will only be messaging you in that way if it is of dire emergency.
Perfect.
Right.
Goes over and scoops the gold back into his hand. I will head out and take care of finding those two individuals and get them situated at each gate.
Thank you, Fonticus. I will see about collecting some more funds in the future. I know that we probably need to restock the larder and do a little bit of housekeeping, but it always seems to get pushed to the bottom of the list. My apologies.
Oh, it will be taken care of.
Right. I'm going to go check on the others. They're staying at an inn. If any missives come for me, just hold them, and I'll be checking back in, hopefully near the end of the day. I don't know when we're going to be continuing on to Candlekeep, however. I'll keep you posted on that.
And then, until then, I'll talk to you soon then, boss.
All right. I will take my leave.
Okay, and Farticus takes off as
door,
well to
get
go.
my cane. Off to meet the party.
Okay, and then we will flash back over to the party, who is currently enjoying some breakfast.
I would like to turn to Roswin while we're eating and go, Roswin, you lived underground, correct?
Well, in a mountain, but yes. Why?
Well, what do you eat in a mountain?
Cave mushrooms and other vegetables. I mean, things like that. Would on occasion travel out and hunt, gather meat.
So,
Why?
have you had, like, do you know what we're eating, or are you following as we do?
I mean, pretty much down for whatever food is available, and could always wash it down with a nail if I need to.
Is
Okay,
there
like-
a
Do you not remember that whole big mountain that we were in, full of gnomes, where I found my mother?
Yes, we were in a mountain, but the mountain we were in was from another dimension. They could have different foods in that mountain.
Okay, just
My point being is, what haven't you had? What tickles your fancy in the foodie world?
I mean, I don't really know what I haven't had because I haven't had it yet, but
I'm gonna like take a stab at like some fruit. I'm gonna hold it up to Roswin. This is a strawberry.
I'll take it and like,
You eat it. Put it in. Put it. No. Okay.
it's not bad.
Okay.
Is this
Okay.
is this one of your favorites? From where you're
What?
from?
Well, strawberries, berries were a big thing where I lived. I'm gonna stab another one. This is a blueberry.
I'll take that as well and use that.
Now you'll see they taste different.
Yes, that's true. They definitely taste different.
Okay, good. You have a palate that still can sense. That's good. What's the difference between a cave mushroom and a surface mushroom?
I don't know. This isn't the kind of stuff I know about. I just swing my axe, and that's all I think about.
Well, you're more than just your axe. Do your eyes hurt? Is it too sunny here?
It is on occasion. Yes, I'm still getting used to all the sunlight.
Okay. We'll buy you a parasol next time we go into a town.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Sarah, Rose has been traveling with us for like several months by now. She hasn't dissolved into ash because the sun shone on her. Besides, I don't think a parasol would be a Rose thing.
We could put
Get
an
in the
axe
way.
at the end of it.
Ooh,
No, no, it's not. I
I
don't
still
think
don't
that
know
would
what this
work.
parasol thing is, but
It's like an
I do
umbrella,
like the sound
but
of that.
with sunshade properties.
Oh,
They're usually frilly and pink and.
Well, they don't have
We know what
to
an
be.
umbrella is, but not a parasol that have rain underground.
I'm pretty sure that Rose's people were not only underground at all times. I'm pretty sure they knew that there was an outside.
yes.
Not saying they didn't, just didn't know umbrellas.
I am like
Okay.
getting interrogated here. What is this?
This is an interrogation. It's just Epheria's right. We've been traveling with you for a while, and well,
We don't know
you
much about you.
Yeah, you swing an axe, but what are your hobbies? Did you have hobbies underground, or would you like to acquire surface hobbies?
I mean, no.
you could just say hobbies. They don't have to be surface hobby.
I mean, this
I just
this
like
is-
shovel
Is
There's
there a
life-
difference
like,
between
There's more to
town
life than
hobbies and
swinging an
forest
axe.
hobbies?
There's more to life than your job, Rose. You've got to enjoy the rest of life.
Yes, think
Well, I guess-
Murdoch, for example. She's a
Guess-
lawyer, but now she travels with us, and you got her to go to a fight club, which is very un-Murdoch.
Yes, I am starting to learn that. It was a lot of fun too.
Sarah, I don't think that's quite right.
She took me there, but yeah.
It's okay. I know she's covering for you.
Well, I guess I have to learn what some of these surface hobbies are that you talk about. And
What for your underground hobbies?
I mean, like
You
this
can
is.
translate them to surface hobbies, or just hobbies.
I mean, swinging my axe is my favorite thing to do.
What's your second favorite thing to do?
Mm,
What about sharpening
Picking
your
up her
axe?
axe. There we go.
yes, picking it up
Wielding
and
it.
swinging it again.
Can I see that up on the board? We surveyed 100 underground dwarves.
Where's the halfling toss on that list?
Jeopardy does exist in the Fey realm. Well, other, but things not axe related.
Wait, hold on. I want to give Para inspiration for that. I gotta log into
What's a non-axe related hobby? Like,
Well, I don't know. We would have tournaments where we would fight, and we would mine for gems. And that still uses an axe, so. I don't know. I guess I have a lot to learn from everyone.
okay,
Well, it's okay to have one thing if you thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy turning into animals. That's one of the things I do often.
Yes, I have noticed that a few times already.
Climb up into a tree, turn into a cat. Sun and leaves, and it's quite pleasant.
the spider wasn't that pleasant. Don't ask her to see the spider.
A big spider or little spider?
Big one's just uncomfortable. The tiny one, I just worry about you.
I'm fine when I'm a spider.
Could we put a bell on you when you're a spider, just so we don't lose you?
No. I know where I am, and that is quite enough.
We'll workshop this. We'll figure.
Would be sort of cute.
About this time, Murdoch arrives.
I arrive.
You can see everyone seems to be focused on
Looking at
Rose.
another blueberry.
Rose, it's confusing. She calls it a blueberry, but it's not blue. It's purple.
When
Yeah.
you peel it, it's green.
Why are these things called blueberries anyway?
Only if it's a high bush blueberry. The low bush blueberries are really purple inside.
I learned something today from our
Where-
druid.
Where the druid and Keplin overlap.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi, everyone.
Oh my god, are we all our
morning.
classes? Like, Kepler knows all, like, nature and druid and outdoorsy stuff. You're like,
I did
a
not
rules-
pass the bar exam.
You're like a rules lawyer, you love rules and know all the rules.
I don't think rules
Aw.
lawyer is the right word, but you just.
Not lawyer, rules giver, information giver.
I do like the rules, but I
No, you
try
can't.
not to.
Keeper of the
I don't know
rules.
what I do without you Sundays. You're an information giver and a godsend. But
I'm just liking the
I've
part
been
that you just
stolen
called
anything.
Sarah a thief.
Yeah.
Roguish.
No, you're a
Roguish and
baker.
charioteer.
Although, there may have been some snow pants.
You're a baker.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
there's
good.
there are some pants that are not accounted for yet.
Hello, my party. What
Oh, hello.
is on the Hi. What is on the docket for today? Am I taking anyone anywhere in my wonderful city of ruffians and scallywags?
Before you
I'd like
take
to
us
see a
on-
ruffian or scallywag
What about a ragamuffin?
Or
Or
ne'er-do-well.
vagabond.
They're slippery. ragamuffins are.
They all sound like fun.
Well, I think we should leave for Candlekeep tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
because I have something to do in the evening tonight if we're going to leave tomorrow.
Okay.
Speaking of ragged muffins, Murdoch, have you had breakfast yet?
I had a little bit of oats and whey with a bit of cream.
You didn't have breakfast. That's what I'm hearing, Murdoch.
I need to restock my food at home. But
I'm already
yes,
pouring Murdoch tea.
thank you.
Yeah, you go.
Thank you. So, all right, make way for Candlekeep tomorrow. Is it worth it to? Do you want to walk? Is it worth it to see about the purchasing of a new mode of transportation, like a
Could we rent a
wagon
carriage?
or?
Why don't we just walk? We haven't walked anywhere in a while, and I think a
Ugh,
good
How-
walk
Yeah.
would be good.
How far
The
is it? I
stress
don't
is
really
getting a bit
know.
high.
my hips, but it's fine. It's good for me. Get my steps in.
It's okay. Furia can turn
Maybe
into
we
a
should get
horse
a-
every once in a while.
Maybe we should
lady.
get a horse, invest in a horse or two.
Well, you
Especially
know what
for
happened
the-
to our last horses.
We really don't.
Well,
Uh,
true.
I apologize for bringing it up. I don't. We can walk. We can walk. Does everyone have something that they can offer to get into Candlekeep? It would be a shame to make the trip and then not be able to get inside.
I've got a tiny box of food.
It depends on what would be good
Ca-
for an
Well, we
offering.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candlekeep requires it's a library. They want knowledge, normally in the written form, or if it's something that you can dictate to one of their scribes, I'm sure that would also count. They ask that you provide something that is not already kept within the library. New knowledge, essentially. I know we have a few books.
We have the book that we got from what was his name in Daggerford.
I mean,
He gave us one. I could probably see if I could offer up the book that had all the information on the rings. for
Perhaps we should
myself.
read the books that Artemis got.
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't
the-
spend my time with my soggy
Right, I
journal.
haven't- I mean, I probably could have done that since I only need 6 hours of sleep last night. We have the 2 books that we're not sure whose bag they ended up in about the changelings.
Well,
What?
I could possibly find something to offer up. I would just need a couple of things back from Furia, Artemis, and Lydia.
I do know that they accept all forms of knowledge. It doesn't need to necessarily be strictly like historical or anything. So even if you have recipes, possibly
that's
that
what
you
I
could
was-
contribute.
That's what I was going to do.
That's
with
what you were
these.
going to do. All right. Okay.
You showed me the recipes, but I never, I don't have any of them.
Oh, I thought I gave you the paper to keep and then tell me what to make. Oh,
No, you
you
never
dig
asked
through my
me.
purse? Here you go, Furia. It's like crumpled up from being like squished
Yeah.
against several
Yeah, you can
snack
keep
bars.
that if you want to try to turn that in.
No. Circle one that seems appealing. Then I'll take it back.
I sort of like scrunch up my nose and start to unfold the, the paper, shake out a bit of
That's what-
purslint.
Yeah, I forget which one you gave me.
I gave
Um,
you one for elves and also one for furbolgs. That was or some sort of fae.
For Faye cookbook.
No,
that's
it
what
was
was.
It wasn't
I'm trying to
Furbolg because
find
it wasn't Furbolg because there wasn't anyone there. Like that, it was something odd though. I can't remember. I'll try to find it when we go to break.
I'm looking through my notes. I'll see what happens.
So you've got a couple of different things. You've got the 2 books that Art recently purchased. the waterlogged one and the one that has that weird coating of slime that you haven't really checked
Right.
out yet. There is... I'm trying to think what else. There's the stuff that, as Furia mentioned, the book on the rings. There's some other things that people had found in their respective rooms, but hadn't really poked through at your home base.
And then the one that I think it's Delphin.
Yep.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gave us
Delphin
one.
gave you one that would
When
gave
I
you a
got
book
my-
Right.
that would get one of you in.
Right. When I got my sword disenchanted.
Well, I say we don't give anyone the book on the rings, because I think that should be something we keep to ourselves. But I think I'm the only one that's maybe been on that ship, since everyone didn't seem to have a lot of information about it. So perhaps I can offer up what I saw on the ship.
Yeah.
I might need to acquire something before we get there. I don't think I really have anything like that on me right now.
Is there anything that you could dictate, perhaps, about your home? I don't believe that a lot, because you said that not a lot of people leave, so also
True.
probably not a lot of people come, and that might work well for your mission as emissary.
True, I could just talk about our plan and our way of life. I don't know if that would really be something they're looking for, but
They compile histories of peoples, and if it's something that you're willing to share, I think it would be a good choice. If there are no others from your home that have decided to already do so.
not to my knowledge, and I don't have any issue with sharing it, so...
All right. Well, I would say then, do you want to spend the day just enjoying ourselves or preparing for the journey? A little bit of both?
Well, I'll read that waterlogged book. Or what's left of it.
I'll read my slimy book, because that'll be gross.
And then the only thing I have is in the evening, and then I think I'll be ready to go.
I'd like to just copy down the rest of the spells and make sure that Mum has all of them copied down, and I guess, Mom, are you coming with us to Candle Keep?
She looks towards you a little bit and then sort of glances at the group and then leans a little closer to you. I think I'd like to go home. I'd like to go see my husband. It's
Yeah.
that and you could see the shade of her skin changing a little bit. She seems to be a little embarrassed. If perhaps I could ask for some coin to pay for a ship to...
Don't ask. No, we give. Yeah, give. I'm kidding.
We give
I'm kidding.
Furia. You do
I'm
that.
kidding. I'll give her. I'll say, I'll go down to the docks and make sure later today and make sure you get a good ship, okay? And then I will pay your way home and everything will be good. Okay?
Yeah,
I'll
of course.
snoop around to make sure that you get a good one. Don't worry. Sorry, Artemis.
And with the spells, we can I can send you some messages, and we can talk and make sure that you're good to go and be back home.
She smiles a little bit and reaches out and sort of ruffles your hair a little bit. Oh, you're turning out so much better than I imagined. We wanted to see what wonders you can do.
Oh gosh.
Have you sent any messages to your father? Does he know that I'm back? That you found me? Have you told anyone?
I'll be right back.
They're gonna rush up to the room and just like send a couple messages.
Real quick, hey, Dad. Yeah, by the way, you haven't like moved on from Mom yet, right?
Oh man. Matthew, I sent you a couple whispers. Did you get them by any chance?
Let's be in roll 20. Oh, yes, that is in play.
Oopsie poopsie.
Oh, sorry. Okay, don't
Nope,
worry about it then.
Yeah, that's in play.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, if we're just going to have a little writing, studying powwow, then perhaps, since I figure Artemis doesn't really have the means to share in writing materials, perhaps we go on a little shopping trip to get that sort of supplies. At least I will, for the recipes.
Okay. So we've got Sarah heading out to pick up some parchment, ink, and quill. We've got Furia and Lydia reading a couple of books, and then Lydia also spending a little time to make sure Art's mother gets a good journey home. Do me a favor, Lydia, just make an investigation check. I will say you have advantage on this given your background. I was going to see how well this turns out.
17. 11 and a 17, so 17.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, eventually when you do this, you do find a vessel that is heading in the proper direction.
Okay.
They, granted, you are not going, so they're not willing to give this, they're not willing to give free passage.
No,
But
I
they
just
do-
wanted good passage, safe
Yeah.
passage.
So they do discount it, though, as you and the first mate have a rousing conversation, sort of laughing off problems you've had at sea. So it ends up, basically they'll give her first class accommodations, full trip,
Nice.
food and stuff for 2 gold.
Ooh, nice. I'll throw him an extra couple silver for that too.
Beautiful. So they let you know that they'll be leaving at first light in the morning. So to make sure the passenger is here before then, or not their problem.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
I'd
Okay.
like to extend the shopping invitation to Roswin, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking I would just tell them the story, thinking that they would want to write it down themselves, but I could join you in the store if you want some company.
Yes.
Alright then.
Okay. So that leaves Art and Murdoch. As we've got Rose and Sarah heading out to go shopping. What would the two of you be doing? Oh wait, Art, you already said you're copying spells. I apologize. That leaves Murdoch.
I suppose I'll see if I can go about and try to get us some healing potions for the journey.
Okay.
We do have 4 potions of greater healing in the, well, my bag of holding. My bag of holding.
Okay.
The main bag of holding.
Potion and scrolls. I'll
It is
go
our
flip
bag
through.
of holding, comrade.
Because I don't know when we'll be in a city again, so it might be nice to get potions and scrolls. Potions and scrolls.
Scrolls and potions.
Okay. So, any specific scrolls you're looking for, or?
Nothing specific. Well, legal. Legal spells. For bards.
Oh, okay.
I know that they'll technically be most likely for wizards, but if it's a wizard spell, I can't use it, so
Yeah.
just to help filter it.
Okay. I'll take a look at that. So we will start with Rose and Sarah, though, as the two of them are heading out to do some shopping together. So Sarah, we know what you're looking for. Anything? As the two of you are heading out, are you listening to Murdoch? Are you behaving? Are you on the straight and narrow?
Yes, I'm behaving.
Okay. So, doesn't take you all that long heading out. It's still fairly early in the day. Eventually, as you and Rose make your way through the city of Baldur's Gate and back over towards that somewhat familiar to you area of the Wide, you do start to see that there are individuals starting to set up their various different carts. Get things easy enough to find someone selling scribing materials. And you're specifically looking for parchment, ink, and quill, or anything else you're seeking?
Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Yeah. Probably, yeah, either parchment and quill, or if there's like a tiny book of some kind, like a tiny, the writing journals.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So-
batting 1,000 today.
So they do sell both. The journals they sell are 25 gold each. Parchment is 2 silver a page. So it really depends on how much you're planning on writing down on what you need.
I'm gonna like think for a second. Look at Rose. Look at the paper. Roswin.
Hmm?
How much do you plan on writing about your life and culture and mountain?
Well, writing or telling?
Well, writing. We have to give the information. Usually, you convey that by writing it down.
I thought I would just tell them there. And they would do the writing. I thought they would rather write it themselves. Maybe not. I don't know.
From the way Murdoch told us, I figured we have to hand over, but well,
She said you could dictate and they could write it down, probably.
okay, she did. Well, there goes that idea.
I mean, if you want to buy the materials and write, I think that's okay too.
Well, I didn't want to impose myself, but if you're offering, then I used to do a bit of younger years.
You want to write my story? Or your recipes?
Well, your story, the recipes, I already have written down.
Oh, I thought we were coming here so you could write down your recipes.
Oh no, dear,
Yeah.
I came here for you.
Oh, we
I
could
know,
do it that way, I suppose.
Well, okay then. I'm gonna buy probably one of the cheaper end sides of the journals and like standard quill.
Oh, okay. So it's the journals they have. They're all they're all the same
25.
cost. It's 25 gold. Small ink pot is 10 gold. And a ink quill that is 2 copper. So you're looking at a total of 35 gold and 2 copper.
Okay. Can we retcon and say that Sarah asked Furia for money before she left?
I have gold, Sarah, if you don't have any with you.
Well, Poopy, this isn't a very gift-giving sort of shopping trip, now is it?
I mean,
Fine.
Furia gave me the gold anyway, so it's
I really need to
how much
ask
was
her.
it? I wasn't paying attention.
35.
Okay, I'll take out 35 and hand it to you.
Okay. I hand the money to the teller. Cashier.
You
Whatever.
can see, during this little conversation two you have, they've got a little smirk on their faces, but looking away a little bit, but hands everything over to you. Gives a little
Okay.
nod.
I put all that in my bag. It's not a bag of holding, but it's pretty close. It's a grandma purse.
True story.
Alrighty. Now, is there anything else you would like to peruse? On the surface?
Not that I can think of, unless there's somewhere else you'd like to stop first.
Fruit stall it is!
Get more of those purple blueberries.
Yes.
You know which way it is? I'm not sure.
Would be very good if I had the map pulled up, but I didn't have the map pulled up, so I'm just gonna
Go ahead and
look
make an
for-
investigation check, as you guys are in basically this massive sort of open marketplace.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were in a open marketplace or not.
It's a 5.
Oh, okay.
27.
Okay. Sarah, you have wandered around this place. You've got a pretty good head for direction. You follow Rose around for probably a good 7 or 8 minutes. As Rose ends up just basically circling the same 7 stalls. And eventually you just sort of find a way to gently nudge Rose in the right direction.
Oh.
And you...
I'm still all turned around up here, sorry.
It's okay, the sun's in your eyes.
Yeah, eventually you do manage to find it. And you can see they've got all manner of autumn berry.
Is there anything in the array that catches your eye?
I mean, what's good? I see so many different colors. I don't know what all these are.
They also have a
Well.
wide variety of different peppers.
I'm gonna gently put my hand on Rose's and nudge her away from the peppers. Not those, dear.
No. What is that? It looks interesting.
Oh, those are peppers. They're very spicy.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. How much for one of the peppers?
Roll a d6.
5.
Okay, looks over what you're pointing at. Oh, that one silver each. Got a bit of a kick to that one.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh.
Takes the silver and you watch as he reaches down and gets a small bit of looks almost like wax paper. Reaches down, picks it up, and folds it up and hands it over to you.
I'll take it and I'll hold it up and look at it for a second. I'll take a huge bite out of it.
Go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Is there a milk stand nearby?
Dirty 20.
Okay, Sarah, you notice as you can see Rose's face manages to... Nope. Stop thinking I'm talking to you. It passes right past her namesake and proceeds to turn a lovely tint of red, and you can start to see little beads of sweat appearing on the forehead. But
you weren't kidding.
Beyond that, Rose, it's got a kick to it, but it actually has a very nice flavor behind it.
Okay, that's...
You think it would be
but
better
that's not
mixed
bad.
with something else and not, raw, but...
That went better than I expected. Whew.
It's actually pretty good after you get past that initial kick. You want a bite?
No, I'm good.
Sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay. I'll kind of wrap it back up and just put it on my side.
My eyes are watering just talking to you. Well, unless there's any other spicy food you'd like to eat like an apple, then I suppose...
Are there any of those here?
Apples? DM, are there
Yep.
apples? Okay. Well, they're apples. One apple, please.
Charges you 2 copper for it.
I give him... I offer Rose
Gives
the
it-
apple. Well,
Gives you a lovely Granny Smith.
thank you. Well, this one, this is a Granny Smith apple. You see, it's a little sour. Better in a pie, honestly.
Is it still in Sarah's hands as she's talking? Or did she hand it to me already?
She's like looking it over and then hands it to you when she says
Okay.
like sour.
I'll take... And as I'm looking at it as you talking, and then I'll take a bite of that as well.
Okay.
Pretty good apple if you like sour food.
Yeah.
I haven't loved Granny Smith apples personally, but hey.
I do too.
I don't.
You see her eye twitch a little bit, like, okay, that is sour. That's good though.
This should be a separate show of its own. Granny and Rose taste the market.
Taste test.
Tour of Boulder's Gate Market.
And as the two of them are eating food, we're going to jump over actually to Furia, who has been flipping through a waterlogged book of... Let me grab my note here. Yep, a waterlogged book that is labeled The Genealogy of the... And then it sort of fades away a little bit as the water has damaged everything. So, as you spent a little bit of time reading this, it actually... Let me find my notes here. Okay. It references a family. It is speaking of the genealogy of the Colson family. Kolsson. And goes on to describe how this the patriarch of the family, Meldon Colson, is the son of Cole. And basically gives a whole breakdown of this family and the children, what they do within their home. Doesn't reference the name of a settlement or anything. But you learn that Meldon is basically the head of. Think of it like the Baron, ruling over a small fiefdom. Meldon is the one. It's his. He controls the hall. He is the leader. His son, firstborn son, is the head of the guard. His daughter, his firstborn daughter, is basically being held off to the side to as an eligible bachelorette, looking for a politically advantageous marriage. Seems to be almost like somebody within the halls or within this location is just sort of keeping record of what's going on.
So not considerably interesting, but to the right person it could be very interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to hold anything for you, but it is very specific information on a specific family. So you have the thought it might be of interest to the people at Candlekeep, assuming that this family has not already sent someone with this information to them.
Right. So yeah, the third page in, I'd probably start skimming what I can make out of the waterlogged pages.
And then the second book we'll jump over is the one that Lydia had found, which was a small book with a stained cover and a very strange sort of slimy texture to the staining. Lydia, as you're starting to flip through this, the first thing that jumps out at you is it's not in a language you recognize.
Oh, great.
But you do start to see some symbols in it. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
+16 +3, 19.
Okay. So let's. As you're flipping through it, the symbols, again, they're sort of interwoven within this strange text. But as you're starting to sort of get a feel for it and remembering your own training, you are beginning to believe this is it seems to be some sort of a prayer book. The symbols are broken apart, are spaced out in such a way they're very reminiscent to you of the rituals you utilize to speak with Njord. You're not sure who this book is intended to reach out to, though.
Okay, thank you.
And then we will jump over to Murdoch, who has gone out to attempt to obtain health potions and some scrolls. So the first thing that we start with is you do find a couple of locations that are selling just your basic health potions. As you're sort of poking around the city, where it is, you do find across your journeys, you manage to find a total of 9. They are charging 50 gold a piece, so it would be a total of 450 gold if you want to buy all 9 of them.
Okay.
And then, as for scrolls, do me a favor and roll 4d6.
Fell off. on the last roll. 12.
Okay.
4, 3, 1, 4.
Okay, perfect. So you find, let's see here. Okay, so the scrolls that you managed to find as you're perusing around, you find a scroll of, where'd my... Okay, scroll of Enhanceability. This is a 2nd level spell.
Mm-hmm.
A scroll of Enemies Abound. A scroll of Fast Friends. And a scroll of... Oh, where'd it go? And a scroll of Locate Creature.
Hmm.
And across all of those, let me see. We have... Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so basically they tell you that if you were to purchase all 4 of them,
Mm-hmm.
they would charge you a grand total of 1,000 gold for all 4.
Okay. How about just Fast Friends and Locate Creature?
Okay. They would say those 2 for a total of 500.
I'm doing math in my head. I will get Fast Friends and Locate Creature.
Okay.
So that's 500. And then I will get, if I did my math correctly, 7 of the potions for 350.
Okay.
And that is what I will do. And now I have 2 gold. Because I gave like 3,000 away for my assistant. So I have 20 gold. There we go.
Okay.
All good.
So if that is, everyone has been doing their shopping. Is there anything else anyone would like to take care of today? You've all sort of been scattered to the winds to take care of your various tasks or bunkered down in your room scribing.
In the evening time, I would like to head back over to Sorcerer's Sundries to pick up the job that they mentioned that they had for me.
Oh, okay. So if you're heading back out, anyone else got anything they need to take care of?
just ask Art, because I forget, whether they have tongues or, or, comprehend languages. Because I forget.
Think it was comprehend.
Yeah, I have comprehend languages.
That is reading stuff.
It's reading
believe-
or hearing.
Yeah.
You just
Okay.
can't speak it.
Alright, I'd go up to Art and I'd lightly tap on their door.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, I know you're quite busy, but I was just wondering if you know which language this was in, what kind of, prayer this is for.
Would I recognize it off by hand or no?
Actually, let me check. Art might.
Hmm.
Give me just a moment here. Check my notes. You do, Art.
Oh.
Nice.
It's abyssal.
Oh. Okay. Welp. It's spooky, that's for sure.
What is it
So,
Who's it
say?
to? Yeah, who's it to?
so as you start flipping through it, you can see it appears to be much as what Lydia had noticed. It is a... what's the word I'm looking for? It is, in fact, a prayer book.
Hmm.
And the individual... Give me a second to find my name here. Gammon, where is the name? Okay. And the name that appears in it is Jublex.
Oh, shit.
That explains the,
Yeah, that's
the
gross.
slimy nature.
It's gross. Well, I've recognized that name if, Artemis tells me.
I'll say go ahead and make either a religion or an arcana check. Either one.
I will try with the religion for a 16.
Prayer book in
Okay.
abyssal, that's I like
So you haven't, with a 16, you haven't heard much about this. You have heard of cults worshipping this individual, and the only word that really comes to mind when you think about what you've heard on it is gluttony. These worshippers of this being tend to be consumers. They are concerned with what they consume. They must consume.
I would tell Art that and be like, you can hang back on to that if you want. No interest. I think my god would be kind of mad if I had a prayer book too.
sure, okay.
If you
I
want
mean,
to, if not, then we can burn it, whatever.
but burn it. Well, no, I quite like it. It looks like a interesting trinket, a prayer book, and abyssal, and it's all slimy.
Yeah. You can hold on to that.
I think I will.
Oh, alright. Well, glad it interests you.
You just like
Not
take it,
me.
and it's like.
Yep. What the heck? No. Okay.
I'll
Thanks.
just wipe this on my pants.
Okay.
Ugh.
Lydia takes out a hanky the size of, like, you know, a small child's blanket. Well, that's how it looks like next to Art, probably.
It's a me blanket.
It is. Actually, it quite suits you. Don't hang on to it.
I don't know. How much has it been used?
No, it's clean. I press them when I can. No.
I'll take the book for now.
Tie it like a cape around your shoulders. And I'll leave Art describing. Again.
Okay. If no one else has anything, we will fast forward through the rest of the afternoon. As the group prepares, has their evening meal. So we flash over to Furia, heading back over to Sorcerer's Sundries to meet with her contact to discuss basically a delivery task to the very destination you are heading to. It doesn't take you long at all to reach Furia, and you do see the young woman you had met with prior is, again, seems to be the only one inside the shop at the moment. Is just sort of puttering around a little bit, seems to be organizing some things.
Yeah, I'll head on over, and if she doesn't notice me right away, like clear my throat and.
As you clear your throat, she just keeps doing what she's doing for a couple of moments and then turns back. Yes, I've been expecting you. Oh, bear with me a moment. She heads up to the front. You can hear she seems to lock the front door. Comes back over to you. And now we've got a few moments to handle our tasks. So you are heading out, I'm assuming, in the immediate future?
Tomorrow morning.
She goes over back behind the counter, pulls out a small bag and opens the bag. Then the bag pulls out a small, looks to be metal chest. Sets the chest on the counter in front of you. Here is the parcel we wish for you to deliver. The contact you're looking for is one of the adjutants at Candlekeep. Is a rather young halfling by the name of Sprig. All you need to do is locate the individual, provide the box. The box will do the rest.
Is the box safe to put in a bag of holding?
No.
Good to know.
It is in fact a, shall we say, just larger on the inside.
Ah. Wouldn't want to get those things put inside one another.
Not at
Rather
all.
messy. I'll put it in my backpack, not my bag of holding.
So, locate Sprig, provide the item to the chest to him. And your task will be done.
Understood.
To aid in your journey, she reaches down and pulls out a, looks to be a somewhat worn, rolled up piece of parchment, and hands it over to you. This is the record of the, shall we call it, construction and ownership of this establishment.
Wow.
Something to aid your way in, as it is probably information they do not have.
Very much appreciated.
Oh, and do keep your hands to yourself. They are rather touchy about thieves.
Wasn't planning on it. But I will warn my companions. Some of them can be.
Shall we say they have a gate warden there that is rather touchy. If him and his group show up, you will not be hanging around.
All right.
Be mindful you don't do anything until you have completed your task. After that, I could care less.
I suppose you wouldn't. Well, we will have to see what the state of the place is when I get there. Hopefully peaceful. But you never know.
Oh, it is. The Avowed are decent enough. You've had some dealings with them.
Right, well, I wouldn't want to keep your regular business from doing business with you.
She gives a little bit of a nod and walks over, unlocks the front door. I wish you good journey then.
Have a good evening.
Gives a little bit of a nod.
Disappear into the darkening streets.
Okay, and as you disappear out into the street, that is going to be a perfect time for us to take our break this evening. As our party is preparing to rest before, at long last, continuing their journey towards Candlekeep. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We're going to top off our drinks and whatnot. And stay tuned to see what sort of trouble they get into and how it prevents them from reaching Candlekeep again. Or will it? back, everyone, as our party has spent the day preparing for their early morning departure. Hopefully, to finally make their way to Candlekeep. And so the evening passes by quickly for the majority of you. A little bit slower for Granny.
Granny's cooking.
Granny is taking a little bit of time. Now, are you still planning on getting a long rest, or are you just cooking all night?
Oh, we're walking. I'm probably gonna cook into. I'm getting like a college student amount of a long rest, college student wise. So I'm gonna be working late into the night, but I'm gonna try and get a long rest.
Oh, okay. So as you're taking care of things, go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay, let me D&D Beyond. Well, I rolled a nat 1, so
Okay. So unfortunately, you do lose track of time. So as the morning comes and you hear your party gathering to make preparations, unfortunately, Sarah, for the first leg of your journey, you do have 1 level of exhaustion.
oh, fiddlesticks, I'm gonna get some black tea on board.
But you,
I'll help carry Granny and possibly.
you do manage to get all of the rations completed for the party as well as for Lillian.
Aww.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure. Okay. Lillian, come here, come.
Comes walking over a little hesitantly at first, but
Oh, okay, dearie. So this one is for the first leg of your trip, and this one is for the second. This one's for a little later, and this one is in case any of the ruffians on board ask for their share. And this one is just for you.
I
as
love
well.
Granny.
thank you. It has been a pleasure, and thank you for your assistance with Artemis getting me home.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing, dearie. Artemis is a joy.
It sounded so forced.
A joy. A joy.
So start packing up, put her in her bag, and come back over to Art. I am heading home. Don't be a stranger. Let me know how you make out to Candlekeep. How soon will I be hearing from you?
I mean, I can message you whenever. Every night if you want.
Just don't be a stranger. It's nice to have you around again. Or should I say to be around again? I suppose it's the same, really.
I'm gonna just give them a big hug.
She goes here, and you can definitely feel,
Right.
as the two of you are holding each other, you can feel her almost like trying to stifle a sob a little bit. That'll be the one then. I don't want to miss the boat.
Okay.
It'll be...
Please be safe.
Oh, but of course. Only a few days' journey to get back home, and should be interesting.
That's good.
She leans down and gives you a little kiss on the forehead, and And he knows I'm coming, correct?
Yes, yes. I didn't tell anybody else, though. Cousins or the things. Yeah.
Sure gives you a little bit of a look on that one. Any reason?
I just don't want anything getting back to the grandparents and they come and find you again or something.
No, we will have to deal with them at some point, won't we? But for now, it's time to see my husband. Leans down, gives you another kiss on the forehead, and double checks the name of the ship with Lydia to make sure she's got it correct, and proceeds to head out. What would the rest of you be doing with the morning? Actually, before we jump any further than that, let me jump over to Murdoch. Go ahead and make a perception check.
4.
So you missed this coming home last night. But in your puttering around this morning getting ready for everything, you see that there is I guess the best way to phrase this would be a display on your desk. It is a rather over-the-top display of flowers. Roses, carnations, mums, tulips. Just this monstrosity of a floral bouquet. As well as looks to be all manner of caramelized sugared meats. Like if you think like candied bacon, candied ham, candied jerky.
It's a combo. It's a combo, flowers and candied meat.
There is a small little container that looks to have some sort of dried leaves in it. And as you look at it a little bit, looks like it is some sort of tea. There's also a small card on the floral arrangement. And just in very simple words, it just says, "Thanks, boss."
Torticus. I'll put the tea in my bag. Oh god, all of these are going to wilt and then it's going to get on the floor, but they're so pretty. But I need to go. I'm going to I'll fetch a little. I'll fetch like an empty bottle of probably like some cheap wine, and I'll try and get it filled with some water, maybe from like a pitcher or something. And I'll put some of the flowers. I'll take like some roses. Maybe like a couple other things. I'll make a smaller bouquet and I'll put it on the shelf with my parents' ashes and snow moons. So I'll like put those up right there, and then I will I'll take one of the flowers. Is there a marigold?
Sure.
I'll take a marigold. I'll give it a little sniff, and I will I'll wrist pocket that into my little pocket dimension. I don't think, maybe there's no oxygen there, so maybe it won't wither. Which means that the little letter Or actually, no, sorry, I took the letter out, so I don't have anything in my wrist pocket. So I'll just take a marigold and I'll wrist pocket that and keep it with me.
Might become a dried flower. That'd be cool.
Might become a dried flower. That's very true. And then I'll take what few more I can, and I'm like, I am totally. Why am I being so sentimental right now? And I'll take all of the little books and stuff that I have around that I'm probably not taking with me, and I'll start pressing the flowers in the books.
Oh.
And I'll leave whatever's left on the desk and go out to meet everybody.
Okay. Anything the rest
Oh,
of
and
you...
I take the meat. I take the meat. Sorry. I guess I'll just sort of like scoop that in my purse, my bag of holding purse. Be like, sure.
I would like to find a small wheelbarrow, if I could, in the morning.
Okay,
Just
go
in the
ahead.
morning.
Go ahead and make
Yep.
an investigation check.
Investigation. Not 20 on investigation for a wheelbarrow. Thank God I used it for that and not something important.
You do find a wheelbarrow. It is currently tipped over upside down and sort of around the around the back alley from the inn.
Does it look like it is owned by someone?
It's just sort of laying out there in the alley. It's hard to say.
I'm gonna try to find like a rock and I'll put like a gold piece under the rock and I'll take the wheelbarrow.
Okay.
Because my conscience.
As you turn over the wheelbarrow, there's an albino under the wheelbarrow.
Oh God! I mean, that's completely fine, but didn't expect you there, sir. Can I help you?
He doesn't respond.
Oh dear. Are they asleep or dead?
You can make a medicine check if you'd like.
I will. That's a fair point. 11 plus 8. Thank God, medicine's wisdom. Who knew? I should know.
As you're checking him over, it does appear that this individual is no longer breathing.
Oh.
As you're checking him over, the body is stiff. They apparently have been here for a little while.
Oh. I'll take the wheelbarrow, take my gold, and try to find someone to tell to bury that poor albino fellow. Alright.
Okay. You have a wheelbarrow.
Okay. Gonna hose that out back of the inn we're staying at.
Okay.
And that's it.
Rose, Sarah, Fury, anything else you'd be doing in the morning?
I'd give the book back to Art. Explain the rest of, what I found, and, Candlekeep might be interested in this. I've decided what I'm going to give Candlekeep, so, maybe you can use it. And then I'll, finish up my breakfast and be ready to leave.
Okay. Rose, anything from you?
Yeah, I don't know if Sarah and I have been putting my story onto paper yet, or if that was going to be on the way since we leave town.
It's up to the two of you. You could have done it yesterday, or...
Yeah, I was thinking we did it yesterday, but I mean, if you want to do it on the road, I'm
No,
fine
I
with that.
just don't know if we. Yeah, that's fine. That we have already done it.
I'm very sleepy, dearie.
Okay, that's.
So the group eventually finds themselves gathered back together as Murdoch, as a group of you sort of head out in front of the inn, as you find Murdoch approaching.
Lydia, why do you have a wheelbarrow?
I'm going to start arranging my pack inside so the sleeping bag is covered in the bottom, and I'm gonna pick up Granny and place her inside.
Oh.
Rose is trying to hide the fact that she's laughing.
Etheria definitely has the smirk on her face as well.
Have I rejoined with everybody to see this happening?
Yep.
Aw.
That is kind of practical. I could have Jeeves push it if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't mind.
That's
Give me a
kind of
little
adorable.
worm day.
Well, before I'm rocked gently, I'm gonna start handing out the little snack bags I packed everybody. Whee! I made some provisions. I took a couple of notes from the recipes I showed you three before. I point to Furia, Lydia, and Artemis. Roswin, I wasn't sure what you would eat, so I just made you a little bit of everything and a lot of berries.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And I tried to find some peppers to give it a kick.
Ooh.
But the inn only had bell peppers, and those aren't spicy.
Ah. Thank you, though.
The two moods arose.
Oh, this is very comfy.
You probably see that Furia immediately puts the pack in the bag folding.
I know, Fury, I know you have your berries, but you
It's interesting that you chose the recipes that I picked out when I didn't actually pick out any recipes for you.
Oh, I just made all of them on the page I gave you since you never picked anything.
Well, you never asked me. It was only last night you gave me the paper.
I guess that's what working on no sleep gets you, right?
Oh, so comfy. Wee.
Okay. So the party's decided you are walking to Candlekeep.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to shift you over to a different map then. So we jump over here, and I will shift ping you to where you are. Nope. Oh, that's not the right thing. Okay. So you guys have approximately 180 miles to get to Candlekeep. So it's going to take you a couple of days of travel to get there. Sir, anything that you would be doing during this, during these couple of days?
Probably just practicing my flute playing, either on the way or during camp that night.
Yeah, nothing during the walks, but at camp, spending a little bit of time to maybe organize some of the notes, maybe conferring with Furia to double check things are right. Because I'm going to try and offer basically a collection of writings about the world that we went to, as sort of my thing to get in. So just sort of compiling that.
Beautiful.
I'm probably going to just be checking with Roswin, like if there's more stuff she wants to add, or if we didn't really elaborate on a certain section.
Yeah,
of
I'd
things.
just be like trading stories and like answering any further questions Sarah had, and
Okay.
I'd also just keep an eye on art. See how they're holding up. How you holding up, champ?
Help! No. I'd probably be checking in with
Mom every night, just sending like a quick message and being like, "Hey,
Okay.
hope travel's going good. I'm good. Love you."
And so your first day of travel goes through without issue. Seems to be a fairly pleasant day in terms of weather. Clear skies, not too hot. Evening goes through, or as you message your mother, you get a response back. First day on the ship, everything seems to be going smoothly. Crew seems to be leaving her alone. Whatever Lydia did apparently worked well for
Good.
her. The next morning, as the group of you continue on your path, all of you go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
22.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I've rolled 2 d20s off my desk. I'm just gonna use D&D Beyond.
6.
Good lord.
Okay. Art, how about you?
11.
Okay. I'm just waiting on Murdoch.
And because I can't drop digital, 6. I did all that for a 6.
Okay. So everyone except for Murdoch and Sarah. As after you've been traveling for about an hour and a half on your second day, you see that there is a piece of parchment hammered into a tree just off the side of the road. Looks to be a poster of sorts.
I'd run over and see what it says.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I do the same as I see it too.
Oh no.
I'm not touching it.
It appears to be it appears to be a wanted poster
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
with a
Sarah?
somewhat very familiar halfling face on it.
No.
Do it.
We can't do this again.
Sarah
We
is.
It looks
she
like
awake,
it has
or is
been
she-
up on the tree for a couple of days.
What?
I'll reach up and pull it down and run back to the group, holding it
Uh,
up.
This looks like it's a wanted poster with your face on it.
I'm wondering if it has to do with those guys that were hunting you before the whole we met Rose incident.
I'm gonna take it from Fira and be like, that looks nothing like me.
They can never get the nose right.
No, they can't.
What are the exact words on it? Like wanted for something in particular?
The party has seen this before. I don't, of course, I don't have my notes in front of me, as I rolled on my random table, and that's what came up for this one.
Was
So
this the one that
this is
was
the
at
exact
gnome-
same one.
from the gnome village?
This is the same one from those guys you met. Yep.
Okay. Ugh. Marduk, I thought you said you dealt with these fellows.
I dealt with a group of we were gone for months.
Yeah, it was 2 months ago.
Well, why don't they think I'm dead?
Do you want me to go
But
convince
you're
them that
not.
you're dead?
Do they have a reason that they should think that?
We
Well-
were gone for months.
Just because
You-
you can't find somebody doesn't mean they're dead.
Yeah.
No, but I'm old and I've been gone for months. It would be pretty convincing.
You're
Do,
not
do
that
you
old.
want me? Do you want me to go try and convince one of them that you're dead?
Well, then they're going to ask for a body, and then we have
I'll
to
just
find
say.
the body.
I'll just say that you were buried in. I don't know, Chult.
Is there a reward on the poster?
Yes. Quite a substantial amount of gold.
We
Well,
are
I'm
running.
Does
sure-
it say? Does this say the company? I don't remember. Is it the same company as before? I'd have to look at my notes.
Yeah, it is literally the exact same.
Okay.
I have it here. Just a second.
Yeah, I OneNote is being slow trying to search back to that.
One's looking for the fate touched. Or
Not looking for the fate touch. Looking for.
It was the assassin. Oh, uh.
Come on, open up.
I wrote down everything else except their name.
Yeah, I'll have to grab it. It's just spinning trying to open it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get for keeping some notes in Word and some in OneNote. Yeah, so you've all seen this before. Again, this one looks like it is not fresh. It looks like it's been out for at least a few days.
Was that the Orcs Clan?
No, the Orcs Clan is something that's what Orcs Clan was from Rose's home.
Yeah.
Right.
This would have been from early April.
Dang it.
Was it the, like, it started with the X? Zerthi? Or is that something else?
That's a Zentarum, and that's something else.
Okay.
Zentarum is a Z, that's the Thieves Guild that Fury is with. Then we have Xanathar, which is next, which is who you're with.
There's so many Z's.
that's episode 60.
It
But
had the fate touch symbol on it,
yeah.
but I don't have
Oh.
here that it has the name.
We'll
Okay.
take it offline. I'll have to mess with my computer and try to get in there afterwards.
Episode 61, if anybody else was curious.
Oh, 61. I wasn't. I don't think I was there. Where am I? I lived outside.
Yeah, so you see that as you're traveling along. You don't see anyone else on the road as you continue along your way. But it appears that they have not given up on Sarah for dead as of yet.
I would like to take back the poster and roll it up and put it in my bag of holding.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, and again, rest of this second day travel goes by without issue. Same for the third and fourth. As you wake up on the morning of the fifth day, at this point, you're pretty sure that you guys will be getting, if you want to push it, you'll get there about midday. It's a little bit more of a grueling pace. You will end up all taking a level of exhaustion if you want to push it. If you go at a normal pace, you'll probably get there fairly late in the evening, which may mean one more night camping out and then approaching the next morning. It's up to the party how you want to proceed.
I mean, either way, we find an inn and we sleep, so.
You're in the middle. You're out in the middle of nowhere.
No, I mean when we get to the city.
It's not a city.
Not a city.
No.
And we're actually going to Candlekeep to fix a unknown problem from the person that gave us our house. So I'm not really sure whether we're going to have to be on our toes as soon as we get there. So I think we should take the extra time and rest.
Meh.
Yeah, I agree with Furia. Just to be safe.
We're going to get there anyways.
Right.
Looks around furiously for wood to knock on.
Please knock on wood. Okay.
Okay, so did you travel through the remainder of the fourth day? Again, taking that sort of just normal pace behind it, knowing that you'll get close and then a little bit of travel in the morning to get you right up there. We are going to jump over and show you what you see as you start to approach. As see Candlekeep before you, off in the distance.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Didn't we use this for?
Yep.
Hey.
It is quite literally
Oh.
the background that is above us. A couple of birds up there.
Hey.
Oh.
We're here!
Where?
Roll
All along.
credits.
Do 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 do.
As you are getting close, you're starting to see other individuals now traveling through various means. You can see what looks to be, in the distance as you're getting closer, somebody on the back of a four-legged winged creature flying at a very rapid pace towards Candlekeep. And as they start to approach, you watch as they're flying good probably 100 feet up in the air, and as they get towards the massive walls, you watch as they just stop right before the walls. And you watch as this creature is still furiously flapping its wings, just slowly sinking to the ground. Then lands and looks around a little, and then proceeds to start walking towards the front gate.
We should get some of those for everyone, because that'd be fun.
That was
Yeah, they
really
still
cool and
ride.
scary.
That does look like fun.
Well,
What
everybody
direction?
have their piece of lore or information that they're going to hand over?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think Murdoch making sure that they were all acceptable forms of information.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know everything that they have in there. I can only hope that you're all weird enough that you have enough esoteric knowledge that we can get it.
Also,
So-
wait, I've also got my amulet that I could show them. Okay.
They
Yeah.
would want to keep it though, probably.
They could probably do like a sketch of it, and you could talk about a god of a faraway place.
No, the one that no one knows about, but us. That
Well,
I'm trying
they
to find
need.
the
You need to know something
Okay,
about
it
it.
just
Otherwise,
can't be a
they're not getting
mysterious
any
object.
new knowledge.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I could go to a smith and tell him to put 3 squiggles and a couple lions on a pendant and say it's a holy symbol.
That'd be sacrilegious.
Yes, but it would. Yes, it would be
Be a
sacrilegious. I'm
good
sorry.
way to get into a temple.
But everybody
You're right.
everybody has a piece of information. Everyone
Let's
has
not
theirs.
get into temples by forging things.
We were just
You say to the
off
cleric.
topic. Off topic.
Oh,
I think
Does
that is a
everyone
good
have
idea,
something
though.
to-
Yeah.
Oh, does
That
everyone
wasn't
have
the
something to
word.
give?
I have
I
a couple
hand
books.
Think
I hand
so,
Rogue
yeah.
her stuff.
Well, we might as well approach, and we'll find out if it's good or not.
Okay, so as you start to approach these massive double gates of Candlekeep, easily standing 18 to 20 feet vertical in front of you, made of a dark black metal. As you start to get a little bit closer, you can see that both of the doors have this same emblem emblazoned on the actual door itself, which is, as you would have seen from the information provided from your benefactor, you would know to be is the actual sigil for Candlekeep. Of the 2 gates, the one on the left is open just wide enough, about 5 or 6 feet space in between, to allow a humanoid to walk through. As you begin to get closer, you see that there are a group of 5 individuals manning this front gate in this opening. All of them wearing these very beautiful purple vestments. And you can see that as people are coming up, these 5 individuals are the ones who are looking at all of the different offerings that are being provided to see whether or not hopefuls will be granted admission to Candlekeep.
Ooh. The vetting process, I didn't know that.
Beyond the door, as you're sort of getting into this line, as these couple of people who had arrived a little ahead of you, and you can see behind them there are a couple of other people who have almost like a small, not the full vestments of these 5 in front of you, but seem to have like this purple almost sash that they're wearing. And as one of them you can see is looking at a book and is flipping through a couple of things and seems to have a cross between a scowl and confusion on their face. Turns back and you can hear him whispering something to one of these individuals with the sash, who gives a very curt nod and takes off sprinting further into the keep. You see the priest come back and they're having a conversation with the person in front of them. Eventually that individual who had been riding on what you now recognize at this, being this close to be a full-grown griffin, which is sort of off to the side now and is just sort of puttering around, is up there in front of them and is holding a book. What's everyone's passive perception? Is anyone below a 15? I think there's a couple of you who are.
I'm 10.
Okay.
11.
So those of you under a 15 probably don't hear this. The rest of you would, though. As you can see that this individual who's trying to gain access apparently has brought to Candlekeep a copy of Volo's Guide. Not exactly the brightest crayon in the picnic basket. As you can, those of you who are hearing this, no, I'm quite sorry, so this is a mass-produced work of borderline fiction in some cases. Yes, there is already a copy here. No, you will not be able to gain admittance with this. Please come back with something that is not housed within our halls. Closes the book, hands it back over to her, and you can hear the guy muttering, and a couple of you who speak Elvish hear a couple of curses thrown in there. More at himself, muttering, not really directed at anyone. But eventually a couple of the spots are opening up, so who is stepping forward with their offering to begin?
I will.
Okay. So we have Sarah bringing her belongings. And what exactly are you bringing, Sarah?
I'm offering...
Or I should say, how are you selling your offering to this person as you're bringing this forward?
I have a little stack of parchment in my hands. And is there like a desk of any kind, or it's just people?
They've got a small. Basically, it looks almost like a just elongated picnic table.
Okay. I spread the recipes out, like playing card style, and I go, we have a recipe for herring pie from 2 adorable small children I met. Or, no, there were people on boat. Small children were a different recipe. Anyway, then we have an array of elvish recipes an array of gnomish recipes and an array of draconic recipes. And the last one she kind of quietly says.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Cinderjo's sort of looking it over. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm good. Oh yeah, 25.
Okay, as he's looking over at what you're offering, you see him nodding a little bit and starts to collect up the parchment, puts it, gathers it all back up into a pile, gives you a little bit of a nod, and proceeds to look over and say, "Thank you. Your offering is acceptable. Are there others in your group who are making an offering, or are you traveling alone?"
No, there's I point to my party that's all waving.
Oh, okay, please step aside and we shall see whom else provides an acceptable offering, and then we shall go over the rules and whatnot.
Whoopee! And I step to the side.
And as you step to the side, he turns around and reaches back over to the, turns back to the runner. And what languages do you speak?
Thieves' Cant, Common, and I was about to say Hilly Churl. Halfling.
Genshin?
So, you hear him say something in a tongue you do not recognize. But
We're going to Mondstadt.
Okay, so who is stepping up next?
I like gesture. Like, Lydia. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So Lydia, what are you bringing forth?
I'm gonna, regret not telling Granny my story when we were on the 6-6 trading to have her write it down for me while she was inside the little pushcart. But I'll go like this. I'll be like, I have been inside a ghost ship that has been seen at the port, Walter's Gate.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Can I make the wind blow behind me with thaumaturgy or something?
Do you have that
Like
prepared?
a little fog roll up.
Sure, if you have, why not?
Yeah.
Doing that, I'll give you advantage on it then.
Good! Because I have no persuasion. Oh yeah, that was a 4. That was a 5.
As you're doing this, he sort of looks over at you.
Ghost ship.
I'm sorry, we have many folk tales on haunted vessels and things of the like. Is there naught else that you can offer to...
Spooky.
We would need something else from you.
Oh, crap.
I'm gonna just hold my hand and kind of gesture for the guard to talk to me. I did give you 4 pages. Could we not perhaps allow 1 or 2 or 3 to be used for any of my party that is not adequate enough in what they bring?
He looks over at you and with a very sort of stern smile on his face. I'm sorry, ma'am. I cannot separate inane ramblings of a halfling chef to allow multiple entries.
Do I see the happening? Do I get what's going on up ahead?
You would you saw how he gestured to Sarah before, and you can see that sort of the very different approach to Lydia. So you can tell something's different up front now.
I
Alright,
assure.
suspecting that
Anything,
Lydia
I'm going
not-
to gently push her to the side and step over to the other side so she doesn't get in trouble on my behalf.
Seeing as how, Lydia's selling of her ideas probably wasn't the greatest. I'll dig out the book from Delphin. I think he gave it to me. Anyway, and I'll sort of give it to Lydia. Try this one.
Oh. And I have this fabulous book!
Back away again.
Thank you, Feria.
As he turns and he looks at that, and you can see there seems to be recognition in his face with this. Huh. So you're a friend of his. That will do, and he reaches up and takes it from you. And looks as you could see almost lovingly he runs his hand along the spine of the book.
Oh.
And proceeds to turn and hand it back to his aide behind him and gesture you to step over beside Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
We will discuss the rules when we find out who else, if any else, will be joining.
I guess since I'm already halfway there, I'll give my battered scroll.
Okay. And as he sort of scrolls a little... Blueprints, owner records for for Sorcerer's Sundries and Baldur's Gate. Yes. I can put this information in and rolls it up, gives a little nod to you, turns and hands it back. Looks like we still have a few left. Anyone else seeking entrance?
I'm gonna go away. I'll come up towards them. Well, I have a few things, but I suppose we'll start with this, and they'll hold out the slime covered book.
Oh, okay. As you out and hand it on.
Careful.
Starts going through and. I apologize. I'm afraid I'm going to need a second opinion on this one. If you would just step over here for a moment, I'll send a runner back.
Yeah, sure.
And he turns back in.
Read it.
And calls over to one of the individuals wearing the sash. He comes over and sends him, takes off running back into the keep. Looks like there are two of you left. Who has the next offer? Ah, yes, you have.
I'll come up and I will hand over just the. I don't think it's like in a book. I think it's kind of like Sarah's, just a collection of parchment. Some first-hand accounts and notes on a world across the plains known as Kryn. Some of the denizens there, some of their gods, some of their magic.
He starts flipping through this, and how much would you have included as to what you've heard? Or what you learned there? Like, would you have mentioned anything about the conclave and that?
Yeah, I think because they're not secret, right? They're like
no, they're
the
big old magic police, basically. Huh.
Yeah, I talk about the conclave. I talk about Paladin and his sibling. I believe is Tiamam is his sibling. So
as he's flipping through it, and
you
he sees, oh, this will actually work rather nicely. We've had a rather barrel-chested gentleman claiming to be a member of this conclave of the same location here once.
Barrel-chested is an interesting descriptor for a man.
It's not one you typically expect when you're speaking of someone who is practiced in the arcane.
I just give a little look over at Furia.
I'm nodding like, I know who that it might be.
Then he turns and sets that back and gestures over to you to join the other
Trying to figure out how to get home.
4. And then looks over at Rose.
Yeah, so Rose will approach, and not really knowing the right etiquette, she'll just follow Sarah's lead and like take the pages that she wrote and spread them out in like loose piles kind of across the table. So this is an account of my clan, the Haldark clan from the Nether Mountains, and it's an account of our hierarchies, our combat tournaments, our gem mining operations, and just our day-to-day lives over the last 2,000 years in the mountain.
Oh, this definitely has some promise. Starts it, and you can see he's starting to just flip through a little bit here and there. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Oh boy, that's an 8.
Okay, as you're going through it, he's... I have to have the scribes rewrite some of this, but... I suppose, and he sort of gestures you over to the group somewhat dismissively, but does manage to pull everything together and sends you over about this time. You can see a rather red-faced individual wearing that purple sash come running up out of breath and starts muttering to the individual again, gesturing over a little bit towards where Artemis is off to the side.
They translated it.
With the and the individual, the one wearing the purple vestments, turns to look back at you, Art. And with your passive insight would tell you there seems to be a little bit of concern in his face and his voice. That was quite the item you brought with you. How did you come across this?
There were a strange couple of booksellers in the market over in Baldur's Gate, and they were giving away these, well, almost giving them away, these old books, and this was a part of the collection, and I bought it for a couple copper.
Well, it is one that we did not have here. So you will be granted entrance.
Oh, wonderful.
Given the subject of the tome, you will also be watched.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Now, a couple of things, if we will gather everyone together, things you must be aware of. While in Candlekeep, you are all expected to abide by the orders of accordance. Now, this means there is to be no fighting. Any arguments or disagreements must follow the rules of cordial debate and discussion. Violent altercations are not tolerated under any circumstances. Should violence occur, the Gate Warden and his team will remove you from the keep with great prejudice. There is no stealing. This applies to all items within the keep, not merely the works. There is no copying of tomes. You are permitted to take notes as what you are looking for, and while studying the works, but if you wish to make a full copy of anything, you must pay to have the manuscript created by our scribes. They can be located within the House of Binder. And finally, there is no damaging, mocking, or otherwise modifying any works. Obviously, this does not apply to your own privately owned possessions and other documents that you bring with you that are not part of our collection. Does anyone have any questions on these?
That is perfectly clear. Makes perfect sense.
Wonderful.
This sounds good to me.
I look over at Sarah, like, see if she's getting it.
I feel like we're all side-eyeing her a little bit.
Clear.
Have any of you been to the keep before? Are you in need of a guide?
A guide would be fantastic.
Oh, wonderful. So he looks over at the kid who just was running around. He says, go find one of the adjutants and see who's available to lead these ones around. He gives a little nod and takes off running, and to the gentleman you've been staying in front of, gestures inside. Please step within the gate and step off to the left-hand side about 10 feet. Then wait, your guide will be with you as soon as Rana can locate one.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you.
I think he forgot to mention the no fun rule.
Ooh.
There's lots of fun to be had. Fun with knowledge and learning.
Eh,
It's certainly no Baldur's Gate. Quite the opposite.
You do know that there's probably many, many tomes on ancient martial techniques and fighting strategies, and
that's a good point.
there's something for everyone. I love this place. It's like Disneyland. You don't know what that is.
What's
I
a
don't know what
Disney?
that is. Candlekeep Land.
Candleland.
A frozen
It's a
lich is
book
buried
world
underneath it.
after
No.
all.
Okay, so a little bit of time goes by. And eventually you see that gentleman is no longer running, but is leading a older human male towards you. Seems to be taking a little bit of time getting over to you, but Dudgy makes his way over, and the young man introduces him as Orin Glass. And eventually he looks at the group of you. All right, you're the ones who need a guide around here. Where are we going?
Where is there to go? We have options?
Great. So, really depends on what you're looking for. What brought you here? So
Knowledge.
We're all going
You
to
don't
probably be
say.
studying. We're all probably going to individually be looking at different subjects. Could we perhaps get a study room and then start requesting some tomes?
Certainly we can assign a runner to you, which will make my life so much easier. And please follow me, and he starts leading you away. And as you've, what we'll do is we're going to jump you over to a
Do you have Candlekeep
Different.
maps?
different map.
A second map.
Second
Yes,
map.
we has pretty map. Well, not. We has inner map.
Hey.
So as you are entering through this why is it always on roller? You are entering through this gate right here. So as you've sort of stepped in, and as you stepped in the gate and moved a little ways over to the left, as this individual starts leading you away, Orin points, gestures at the building just to your left. Well, to your left, as you can see, we have the bath and steam house.
Nice.
Beside that, there is the smithy and horse stables.
Also nice.
It's not bad. And he seems to be sort of taking you the long way, following along the left-hand wall a little bit, as he's leading you in. This next smaller building here is the Temple of Ogma. And this larger, rather cylindrical building is the Granary. Next we have the House of Rest and eventually the Hearth. As he moves over and... why does it keep defaulting to that? As he gestures at this building, here is the House of Binder. This is where you will... Well, this is where anything that you need to be transcribed will would be where they transcribe it for you. And as he continues along, leading this way across, he gives you a little bit of information on each piece. Mentioned the bathhouse is somewhere where both disciples as well as people who've come to visit can go in and rest and relax for a little bit. As he starts circling further around, he gets to a small group of buildings over here that he recommends to you as the Outfitters and Clothiers, which he specifies is only for members of the Avowed. But it's basically where they go to purchase their robes or to have their worn robes repaired. The other thing that he points to as he's traveling through is right over here, which is the Emerald Door. See, as you start getting a little closer, he's pointing out all these little points as you're leading towards them. He doesn't mention this door, which all of you can see probably a good 50 or 60 feet before you get to it, as it is standing 15 feet tall and is a translucent dark green stone that almost seems to glow within an inner light. Standing beside the door is an individual, very thin, leaning on a staff with a rather ornate, what looks to be hand clutching a small crystal atop this small staff they're leaning on. As he looks over at it, oh, that is the Keeper of the Emerald Door. That is, well, let's just say you won't be passing through there. That is where the Great Library resides. The only way to access the inner ward is with special dispensation, which comes from the Keeper of Tomes, or the First Reader, or one of the 8 Great Readers. And should they decide to grant you admittance, they will also provide you with the necessary documentation. Should you ever be gifted one, the wax seal must remain intact and unbroken when presented to the Keeper of the Emerald Door. The Keeper determines at that time whether it is authentic or if it is a forgery. If it is a forgery, the Gate Warden will come and collect you and remove you with great prejudice.
I lean over to whoever's beside me and I have a feeling they like saying that.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here.
If you've got the vocabulary for it. I mean.
How do we learn anything if we're not supposed to go in the library? Is that a dumb question?
As you say that,
you
you hear sort of... That is why we were going this direction.
Oh.
To the Pillars of Pedagogy.
Rolls off the tongue.
This is the location where all seekers of information and knowledge are able to spend quiet
Oh.
time in study. There are various different buildings and with private rooms within that, well, once I bring you to one and provide you with your runner, they will make arrangements to obtain any information you are looking for. Should it be something that is permissible for you to be perusing without special dispensation. And again, once you have done that, you request specific works. Those works are retrieved, assuming they are not currently in the possession of other seekers. And then you will be able to view them.
Someone's talking about me.
Excuse me, if we know of a book, I'm not sure how to phrase this, but is any book that you have in your vast library available to us, or are some books off limits even though we might know them specifically by name?
As you say that to him, you see a bit of hesitation from him.
I mean, I just don't want to waste your time if I'm going to know that some high-level magical book that I might have heard a bard talk about is going to be off limits.
He looks, and again, you get that same sort of little groan from him. Typically, if they are not permitted without special dispensation, the individuals getting the books are aware of those. Should they not be, they would be advised by the keeper of the gate before being admitted to the library.
Fair enough.
Are we permitted to inquire about... Are the pillars of pedagogy, are we only going to be given our room, or are we allowed to intermingle with other students? Are we allowed to inquire about who else is currently studying here, or is everyone kept private?
It's... The rooms within the towers are silent. Permanently.
So there's not
for-
going to be much conversing at all.
No, there will be none.
Understood. And do we have free walk of all of these buildings in this? I think this is the Court of Air. Last time I was here, I think this is called the Court of Air.
Let me check my... Oh, where'd my note go?
Court of Air. Is that just because
yes,
there's
the Court of
not
Air.
much in it?
Yes, you... And he looks over. Yes, you do have free reign of the Court of Air. As of the other buildings as have been mentioned, the bathhouse, the temple, the house of rest, the hearth. Again, a house of the binder you would only need if you were seeking to have something scribed.
All right.
Stay away from the Emerald Door, unless you have the special permission.
All right. Wonderful.
But yes, feel free. You can wander the rest. Again, the bunkhouse is where the avowed stay, but as well as seekers who need longer.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of a bow. He brings the group of you in and into one of the stay rooms, and he brings you into this first tower as you walk in. And some of you probably find this enjoyable. Some of you probably find it very disconcerting. As you've heard each other walking, and you've heard like the little bit of a jingle jangle of Lydia's armor, coin purses, feet scuffing on the ground, you enter this tower and it is silent. Perfect, complete silence.
I go to say, oh, they really meant it. And then as the words come out of my mouth, I realize that nobody is going to hear them anyway.
As you can feel your vocal cords vibrating and moving, and there is no sound.
I clap.
I snap my fingers by my ear.
You could see as this is all happening, you could see Or's looking around at the group of you and has a little bit of a grin on his face. That eventually brings you over into one of the study rooms. Has a large table in it, a couple of chairs. Gestures to the room, and then gestures to a small, what looks to be a Art, you have probably seen something like this before from when you were initially starting to learn your arcane craft. It is basically it looks like a very thick, almost, piece of, it's got a small wooden border around it, and within it is a very soft wax. And a single, what looks to be, I'm going to call it like a stick. So there's a small quill on it, and as he looks down, picks up the quill and just very softly writes in it, "Write what you seek." Holds it up, shows it to the group, takes the stick, slides it across, and it wipes it clean. Then sets it down and steps off to the side with the runner. And as the group of you have found your way within Candlekeep, into the pillars, to start searching for your knowledge, this is where we're calling into tonight's session.
Cool.
Murdoch does not seem happy about this. And now everyone's gone silent. So, on behalf of all our unable to speak characters, folks. So yeah, we are going to check. I know next week is a holiday for about half of us. So we're going to figure out what's going on and see. We may be back next week. I'm thinking if it's going to be half of us out, it'll probably be 2 weeks before we're back. But we will figure it out, and we will let the other streams know so they can give everyone a heads up. Yeah, definitely stay tuned as our party has finally made their way to Candlekeep.
Yay!
There is knowledge to hopefully be found for some of our characters. There's a task to be handled, and another task to be handled that the group isn't quite 100% sure on. They just know that their benefactor came through here and apparently caused a bit of a problem that he wants them to fix. So, until next time, folks, don't forget, just because you're a wrinkled, old halfling, doesn't mean if you disappear for a month or two, people are going to think you're dead. They're just going to think you're in hiding, and they're still going to be hunting for you. Dead or alive. See you next time, folks.